With the fall season in the books, the Syracuse University men's rowing team has already seen success, winning the Syracuse Invitational over both Cornell and Hobart in November. But that's just the start of the work for the Orange. Coming off a huge fifth-place finish at the IRA National Championship regatta last season, the bar has been raised for Syracuse crew, and the work to get back to that level is just beginning. Now that winter is starting to set in here in central New York, the SU men's crew team have taken their boats off the water here at Onondaga Lake and moved to indoor workouts. Although their competition in other parts of the country aren't affected by this weather change, the Orange point to their work inside as a key to their success.
Oh, incredibly important. That's where seasons are won and lost. Like, everybody comes into the fall and they might be in shape, you might not be in shape, but once you come back for the winter training, the time you put in there is what sort of translates to speed in the spring, and so it's actually the most important time.
Extremely important. I mean, it's often said the races aren't won in the spring, they're won in the winter, and it's all about the fitness and the time you put in.
This year is the first time that freshmen have been allowed into the varsity boat. The team has now doubled in size with the added underclassmen, some of whom hope to make an impact on the top boats. Although the team has a lot of young talent, leadership from upperclassmen is essential.
I think it's crucial that the juniors and seniors show how we have been shown how to perform in the past years so they can learn from us and adapt to that.
The Orange believe this year's team can go just as far as last year's top 5 finish at the National Championship, if not do even better. It's something that senior Angus Jackson attributes to their team bond and chemistry.
I think we're closer than other teams. I think we have a real bond of friendship that other teams don't get. Other teams are always competing within each other and still competing with each other, but it's as friends, it's not as enemies.
One obstacle that the Orange will be facing is their size. When matched up against some of the nation's biggest crews like Harvard, Washington, and Cal, Syracuse will have to be at their best to compete with their power.
Probably a smaller team in terms of actual size, so we have a lot of technique guys, but not a lot of power.
But while rowing is one part strength, it's also one part fitness and technique, something senior Kyle Rogers thinks puts this year's boat above the competition.
I've been here 4 years, and this is the hardest working team that I've been on out of the 4 years, and I think that that's going to pay dividends.
The quest for those dividends begins on March 30th when the Orange take on Georgetown and Princeton in New Jersey. Syracuse will have 5 races in the spring, all leading up to another shot at a top 5 finish at the National Championship in June. It's a race that has this team anxious to prove it can compete with the best in the country for the second year in a row. In Syracuse, I'm Tim Killian, NCC News.